Hello, in today's video I'm going to show you a new feature that we've added to the system called Smart Paste, and it's going to save you an enormous amount of time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to whiz through, show you some examples, and then I'll give you a little bit more background at the end. So where we are here, we're in a pension switch. We've added details of our current plan, but as yet we haven't entered any of the holding details. And we've got a few shortcuts in here already. You can pick them from a shortlist and it'll know which the provider is and filter that down. You can type by ISIN and everything else, but even that takes a little bit of time. So let's have a look at what Smart Paste can do. Okay, so there's a bit of text here explaining it. I'm going to come back and look at that in a second, but for now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the holding section I've got off a benefit statement, I'm going to copy it and I'm going to paste it in. So it looks something like that. I've got a column with ISINs, a column with values, and I'm going to hit convert. It knows what the three are. I hit apply and it adds them in. Brilliant. Simple as that. And you can use Smart Paste throughout the system. There's loads of areas. You can use it to create a new client. You can use it to create model portfolios. You can even use it under the new investment section. Let's have a look at that. Okay, so I'll uncheck the defaults at the minute. I'm going to change it to specific funds. And I've got a list of about 10, 12 funds that I want to use in this case. Whether they've come from a DFM provider, whether they've come from a portfolio research, whatever they've come from, I'm going to use Smart Paste to add them in. Same premise. Paste in the data. This time it's percentages rather than values. You can see we've got the column. Hit convert and it's found those funds. Hopefully you're starting to get the idea of just how much of a time saver this is going to be. So the simplest way to use it is via original documents. The system will try and be clever. It will read everything that's in that document. It'll pick out the bits it cares about, ignore the bits that it doesn't. But if you've got something specific like a table of ISINs, a table of new investments or whatever it might be, you can paste them in and see. I'm going to show you one last thing and then I'm going to talk a little bit more about the mechanics. So I'm going to go back home. I'm going to create a new client. Here we go, completely blank client. You can see we've got the Smart Paste option, so it's not just reserved for funds. We can use it for lots of other things in the system as well. Also, it's worth pointing out you can just type directly into here. You don't need to paste. So this example I'm going to do now, I do have it paste just so you don't watch me type lots of things in, but you could just as easily type this in where you're sitting with a new client or whatever it might be. So let's have a look at this data. So very simply, I've got the client's name, I've got their date of birth, and I've got details of what they've got. Now if I want to add in the current salary, which I am, I just need to change this option here to overwrite because we make an assumption on current salary. So you can see you've got three different ways of doing it. You can clear everything down and start afresh. You can just look at the missing values, or you can overwrite everything. So I'm going to overwrite everything, and you can see just how simple that data is. You could quite easily type that in yourself in a matter of seconds. There you go, it's created the client, and it's also created us three plans under there and updated their salary assumption. There we go, our client is now in the system. Even better than that, because we've got templates under here, I can go into a modeler quote and I can model different target incomes. And in a matter of seconds, I've got a full three side-by-side option modeling quote showing different target incomes for this particular client. Let's let the last one load. There we go. And you can see from start to finish there, we're talking 30 seconds. Obviously, you've got refinements you might want to make to this, but you can easily do that now that the plan exists on the system, now that the quote exists. You can go back into quote type and make whatever changes you want to make to these plans that have been included, whether you want to include, exclude them, change the order they're taken, change the vehicle they're going into. But everything has been done by the system for you. It's a fantastic time saver, and that's what we're all about. We're trying to get you using the system efficiently, trying to get the data in there quickly, whether it's through linking exercises or this brand new Smart Paste, and just trying to make your lives easier and the system to complement your process. Now I said I'd give you a bit more information about Smart Paste itself. Let's go back to the client details section here and have a look. So what you'll see whenever you open up a Smart Paste is a little explanation, but also a click here for examples. And what this does is this shows you specific formats that you can and can't use in that particular section. You can see a very similar example to the one that I used. Obviously this is in the actual quote itself, but you can do the same in the client. And it will talk about what the headings need to be and what it's going to look for. So you might have a client document anyway, maybe it's a report you've got out of another system, maybe it's your back office system. You can try just copying and pasting all of that data in and seeing just how close the system gets out of the box to mapping that. You'll probably be quite surprised. You can also be very specific and target specific things. A good tip is always to look for the title, the label down the side here, because that's what we're going to look for when we match. There's a few clever bits going on behind that, but that's a good starting point. It works exceptionally well if you're taking data from tables. So you'll see the two examples I did with funds were all around heading, data, heading, data. So we had ISIN and percentage, ISIN and percentage. You can also change the section you're targeting. So if I wanted to do specifically client details and not anything else, you can choose that. And really, you know, the power is there. We'd love to hear your success stories. If it doesn't work for you, if you've got a particular example that doesn't quite work, speak to us on the support desk. We'll be happy to help you, give you a slight hint as to how to formulate that, or even perhaps if we can take it on board, add that recognition into the system. As I say, you can use it in model portfolios. You can use it pretty much everywhere. Just look out for that Smart Paste button and look out for the help that accompanies it to give you some working examples. I hope you found that useful. I'm sure if you start using it, it'll save you an enormous amount of time. Thanks for watching.